Howdy y'all, and welcome to the channel and joining me for another session of sculpting in Zbrush. Today we're going to work on doing some longer hair for 3D printing. So what I have so far is I have a base head model. You can use the one from Lightbox, okay, or any of these ones to start off from. I just pulled that up with the comma key again. What I've already done, I'll mask this out, is I've masked, or I'll hide that, I've masked out the hair area that I want. You've seen this in some of my previous videos, and then I came down to, in the subtool palette, went to extract, zero thickness, and extracted it, and that gave me this one right here. And I also have a body just so I can get to see where the hair is going to fall and how it's going to work with the traps and other parts. So we can unmask this for now with the hair selected. I've also gone along, and so we'll isolate that, click on solo. I've masked out the edge, and I did that just by coming down to the masking tool and mask borders, mask the border, and then I grouped it. Okay, you might need to grow the mask depending on how dense your geometry is. It's kind of dependent on that. Okay, so now I want, so with the gizmo selected, I'm going to select the yellow. And then with symmetry turned off, I want to go to the middle, and we're just going to pull that into the scalp. Okay, that makes it so that for sure the edge is going to be a solid line into the skin as well as for the hair. So now we'll invert that mask. You can do that down here by inverse, or Control I is the standard hotkey with it, or click off the model with Control held. And what we're going to do, since this has longer hair, this is just our base point. So we're going to come into the brush palette, and with IMM primitives, we're going to grab a sphere. It doesn't matter which one you do, but we're going to grab just one of these spheres, and then we're going to draw it on top of the model. And this is where you get to have some fun. So I'm just clicking and getting my reference pulled up on my other screen. With the snake hook, so BS, snake hook right there, you're just going to start pulling this into the shapes that you want. So I'm going to pull this down. Don't worry about the geometry getting broken and looking weird, because you're going to be able to, we're going to dynamesh that afterwards. Okay, so we're just looking for those big shapes. You can use your silhouette up here to find those big shapes, get them looking how you want. Okay. Looks good. Oof. Zoomed in too far. Okay, so like that. And now we're going to, so for the first one, you want to come up to Subtool, and you're going to split. You're going to click off, make sure that only this one is masked. So if we had our hairline masked or unmasked, we want to make sure that we click off and only have this polygroup unmasked, and we're going to split unmasked points. So now we still have our base hair in one subtool, and then we got our additional. And now we can come to geometry, dynamesh. I like to have this circle unclicked and project for when I get higher details, not necessary right now, but just as a habit. And we're going to dynamesh it. Okay, so now we have some shapes happening, and you can just start smoothing and pulling as you need. Okay, and we'll do that more as we go. But now that we have this, we can start, as a separate subtool, we can start inserting more shapes. So let's get one for the back of the hair right there. And with the gizmo, so I hit W, we're going to squish this down a little bit. And now we'll go back to the snake hook, which, you know, it says it works best in sculptor's mode. You can use that if you want. In fact, we'll do that for this one. Just going to add geometry as needed for the pulls that you're doing. And we're just going to start pulling this into shape. Okay. So this is, and if you think of the hair that you're doing in layers, so the back of the hair is obviously going to be down lower because of how it's sitting. So we're going to start from I like to start from the back. Okay. Awesome. And again, you want this to sit as flat as you can on things as far as where it's coming in. We're going to build on top of it as we go, but you want it to go as close to the bottom meshes so that it'll be easier to make it watertight when we get done with it. Okay, so there's this shape, and you can just keep pulling with the snake hook brush, keeping in mind where this subtool is, where our hairline, as a guide. Okay, and then we're going to insert another shape right here, and you snake hook, start pulling this one in. We're going to do a fast forward soon. Okay, so I want this particular hair to go, and this is where the shoulders, having that body geometry here is really key. I want it to go over the front and to go behind, so this way I can see how it's going to sit, come over, and it can sit off like that if I want to, because we're going to have this, in fact I'll show you right now. So we'll clear that mask, and then we're going to turn on ghost mode transparency. Okay, now I can see into it. So with sculptress off, just by clicking up there, I'm going to pull this in so that we have this set sitting off of the head, but also we'll be going into it to make it watertight. Cool. Alright, so smooth that, and then I want this shape, so I can just click and select it. Now, if you have your clay build up with the without changing the alpha, this works really, really well. But it helps if you double click over here, come down to auto masking, click on that to open it up, and click on back face mask. If you look, I have it hotkeyed for K because I use it very often. This is how we're going to create our layers. Okay, so we're going to invert that one. We're going to start down here, change our draw size a little bit, and we're going to start just doing these big shapes of how we want the hair to fall. Okay, don't worry about how defined it is right now, because we're going to Dynamesh again after we start getting these shapes put in. Looks good. And again, you're just looking for those big blocking shapes. Okay. And now once I get these, I like to switch back to the snake hook and just pull them out a little bit more so they define as separate shapes. Okay. And because we have separate groups, we want to click on the groups button so that when we Dynamesh, it keeps them as separate groups. Okay, it won't blend these edges yet. Later on we'll do that. So now we can take this one, and same thing, we're going to have the clay build up, start masking or start sculpting the hair onto it, and it's going to create these natural layer variations. All right. Ooh. And if your camera does that, so that was a good thing to show. Newer versions of ZBrush have this camera lock, and it is wonderful because now if I click off, so I'm doing these big sweeping motions, if I drag off or I click early, it's not going to tilt the camera. So thank you Pixelogic for putting that in there. It makes things so much easier. Okay, So as we do things and we need a little bit more geo, we got the Dynamesh on, we just control, drag off to create some more geometry with it. Okay. And then just remember, if you need to move around to access something different, you click off that camera right here, snake hook, drag that one, R, control click, selects that group, and you just start pulling geometry as you want to have your hair sit how and where you want it. It's like this one right here, I want to have this. I want to pull this one out, so we're going to use snake hook. Snake hook's a lot better than move, FYI. Okay, that looks good. But we're going to mask right here because I want to pull this out here to where it looks like it's sitting on top of. So it looks like this is sitting on top of this one. Okay. Just kind of go through and re-Dynamesh, sculpt it out. Now this one gets a little thin right here, so an easy way to fix that is size that, Sculptors Pro, and you're just gonna smooth in. Okay, super fast and easy way to do it, and you just start pulling in your hairs wherever you want. Okay, making the shapes how you want it to sit and look. So this character is going to have a little bit more curly hair. Okay. Okay. And then the final thing I like to do, so we're going to re-Dynamesh that. Alright, so if I have these hairs where I want them, in fact, we'll quickly come up and we'll do a fast blocking with these. Okay. Turn off ghost mode. Turn on snake hook. And we're just going to hurry and pull this into place with some big moves. There we go. So you can see just how fast I'm moving. It's getting your basic shapes and just trying some stuff is pretty quick doing this method. Okay, like that. I mean, of course it depends on how finicky you're going to be with it. There we go. Alright, drag this shape here. So you could do this to give them a top knot or braids, whatever hairstyle you're wanting to do. It's a quick and easy way to do it. Just pull it to wherever you want. We'll have this character have a split in the middle. This hair is going to come down here. There we go. And we'll give him, pull that to that spot. And one more piece. And go a little bigger. Pull that right there. Awesome. Now let's say that I want this thinner piece in this location. I just want to clear the mask. And then I want to mask the one that I want to move, invert the mask either by clicking off, so control and click off the model, and then using snake hook I can drag it down. Now I've got this additional piece right here. I need it right next to the body so it's not sticking off very much, because if it sticks off too much it's going to have a hard time printing. So this works if you're doing digital art, but again, a lot of what I do is for 3D printing, so you need to keep that in mind with how your hair is sitting on your model. Okay. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Okay. So we got this one just to create this layer. And we'll Dynamesh just to get a little more geometry. Awesome. And you can go through and smooth it as much as you want or need. Now what I like to do last is I like to take the dam standard, so BDS right there, and with sculptress mode, go down a little bit in size, Alt, raise this, indent this, raise this, indent this, and just go through and choose. And because we have our groups, we can select different ones so that we don't cause anything that we don't like. And you just go through and create your hairs. Alright. So that's going to make it to where we're going to have hairs like this for 3D printing. When it's finally how we want it, to finish making it watertight, all you need to do is click off groups, control Dynamesh, and now it's solid. Okay. And so once you do it with, you do the same thing with the rest of your model, it's going to give you watertight. It'll give you a watertight model with the head and everything else, and that's why you want to keep the hair extract right there. So that this goes into this, and this will go into this. It just really helps ensure that it's watertight without having too much problems to fix later. The biggest thing I've ever run into is having too thin of parts, and you just want to watch out for how big your model's going to be. I mean, if it's going to be super small like this, then like this little hair right here isn't going to get picked up. Okay, so all right, there you have it. Hopefully those small tips and tricks help. So get out there and create some stuff, and I will see you on the next one. Catch you later.